On Saturday night, the West Indies lost their first ODI match of their three-match series in Australia to Australia. I am hurting. I'm very disappointed. And I'm embarrassed. Not because we lost the match, but because I do not have any confidence in the coach. And in my opinion, Sean Diaz is talking down to the West Indies people. I do not think Sean Diaz recognized the magnitude of his job and realized that we are highly intelligent people. Hello everyone and welcome to the show. This is the Cricket Forum. So on Saturday night, the West Indies played Australia in the first ODI match. Ailey Matthews was injured. The West Indies goes into the match with this 11. Joseph and Zayda James as the two openers, both under the age of 20. Stephanie Taylor, Cherry-Ann Rashada Williams, Chinel Henry, Aaliyah Alleyne, Ashley Fletcher, Connell, and Ramharack. That was the West Indies 11. And the Australian 11 was the same 11 that played in the final T20 game. They made no change. The only change was that Phoebe Litchfield went up to open the batting with Aaliyah Alleyne instead of Beth Mooney. But it was the same 11. West Indies were put into bat first, and they made 83 all out. With the only batsman making any contribution of significance was Aaliyah Alleyne, who made 35. In that 35, Aaliyah Alleyne hit 7 fours. Kim Garth for Australia took 3 wickets for 8 runs from her 5.3 overs. In their turn at the crease, Australia win quite handsomely. They made 87 for 2 with Alleyne getting 38. Ramharack getting 1 for 13 from her 3 overs, and Chinel Henry getting 1 for 28 from her 5 overs. So the West Indies was bowled out for the lowest ODI score ever at the Alan Border Oval in Brisbane. Now, after the match, one of the journalists, one of the commentators at the match asked our coach, and this is what he asked him. How do you go about either turning that one around, or what's your message to the girls? That was the question as asked to the coach. And Sean Diaz replied by saying, funny enough, I thought some of the things we did today were really good. What could be so good in a team making 83 all out? He thought some of the things that we did today was really good. I do not know how many of you watched that match, but I don't know what he's talking about. And my question, when I heard that comment Sunday morning, because this came via Cricket West Indies, and we should give Cricket West Indies credit for sending this press release. And when I heard it, I said to myself, was Sean Diaz actually watching the match? And for any one of you who was watching that match, at any time during the match, did you see Sean Diaz? And it forced me to wonder, was he in one of the clubhouse or one at the Alan Border Oval having a drink? This is just my conclusion, because I never saw him during that match. So it was good. He saw some things that were good. And he went on to list immediately. This is a flowing conversation. We saw things were good today, really good. It was a good toss to win. May I tell you that Australia won the toss? So how was it a good toss to win? Was he referred to it as that it was a good toss for Australia to win so that West Indies should be on the back foot? I cannot justify or try to think what Sean Diaz was trying to say. I am quoting his exact word. We did today really good. It was a good toss to win. Alleyne missed out today. The pitch was juicy. That was what Sean Diaz is saying that is really good. Now, before the team went to Australia, Sean Diaz, in an interview with journalists before, said that he wants to play a positive brand of cricket, the West Indies brand of cricket, flamboyant and cavalier. Nothing is wrong with that. But one of the duty of a coach, one of the responsibility of a coach is to identify the strength and weaknesses of your team. Sean Diaz, if he has any quality at all, or if he's serious about this job, should realize that although he wants this team to be positive and playing attacking cricket, that the learning curve is too steep for these girls, and at first he needs to start at the basic. Except for 2 players in this team, the rest of the team, the senior batswoman in the team, averages less than 20. The junior batswoman in the team averages less than 10. So how can you move a set of girls with those averages from where they are now to be playing attacking cricket against the world #1 on a pitch that you in your post-match press conference said was juicy? Something must have been wrong with that approach. I cannot understand why on a juicy pitch you sent our 2 least experienced batswomen to go and open. 2 teenagers. And that's where I was sympathetic to the girls. That's where I felt the embarrassment and I felt a level of fear. I genuinely felt fear for those 2 young ladies as I saw them walk out. You could see them trembling. But we have a coach who believes that on a juicy pitch, where the covers, because I told you that it would have been a mostly cloudy day at the Brisbane Oval, at the Allan Border Oval in Brisbane, Australia. I did tell you. And the covers were not removed until less than an hour before the start of the match. And our coach, Sean Diaz, who by the way is assistant coach, have said that the West Indies team is raw. Most of the girls are raw. And it goes back to the point that I'm making. If the girls are raw, how comes do you want them to immediately start playing aggressive, flamboyant, cavalier cricket the West Indies way? How come? Can't you understand that the learning curve is too steep and you need to work on the basics and gradually, incrementally improve these young ladies? You know, I want to say something. I want to quote KL Rahul. Australia and India played the 5th match of the ODI World Cup on Sunday. At one stage, replying to 199 made by Australia, India were 2 runs for 3 wickets when KL Rahul joined Kohli at the crease. And this is what KL Rahul said, that Kohli said to him. Virat said, there's big help in the wicket for the bowlers. And we just have to play proper shots and play like it's test cricket for some time. And we see where it goes. That was mostly the plan. So here is one of the finest batsmen in the world. There are many persons who will tell you that Virat Kohli is the greatest batsman in the world at this time. And playing against Australia in a match in India, Virat Kohli said, let us play test cricket. Let us play this match like we are playing test cricket and see where it goes. But on the contrary, our coach, Sean Diaz, on a juicy pitch, told our inexperienced team, with our girls averaging 16, 15, he's telling them to go out there and play attacking cricket. I really, really do not have any confidence in Sean Diaz at this time. He may be a good coach. He may well be a very good coach. And I really want the best coach for the West Indies. It doesn't matter if the person is from Mars. I want the best coach for the West Indies. But if Sean Diaz is taking us for a ride, he needs to pull up his socks and get to work. Because there's no way the instructions that he issued to the girls on Saturday night Jamaica time was the correct thing and the sensible approach. It was not. And we hope that going forward, that Sean Diaz will show that he worked every penny that Cricket West Indies is paying him to prepare this women team. Because for so far, he has not been off to a good start. Here's one of the good things that Sean Diaz said that the ladies did on Saturday night in his interview. And those of you who are in the Cricket Forum Foundation WhatsApp group, and if Bobby Brown is listening, please put your email address in the chat, Bobby Brown, and you can send your WhatsApp number to Bobby Brown, and so you can be a member of that WhatsApp group, because there's a lot of information that is posted there, and this interview is posted in that Facebook group. He went on to say in that interview, and this is when I stopped listening to him, because I did not want to hear anymore. He said that he loved the way that the girls move into the ball and attack it. And I was saying to myself, which girls are he talking to? Which girls are you talking about? Aaliyah Alleyne was the only one that made any score. Stephanie Taylor made 12. Cherry-Ann Fraser made 14. But so many of our batswomen got out Saturday night with their weight going backward, away from the ball. So many of them. And the reasons why I'm not calling name here is because the girls are following instructions from the coach. They may have been a bit naive, of course. Definitely. Some of the dismissals were naive. But they were trying to please the coach and to adopt his philosophy. And it is good to have philosophy. But I said again, Sean Diaz, the learning curve is too steep and you need to start at the bottom and look for incremental and gradual improvement. You cannot have girls who are averaging 4 and 15 and 16 immediately start playing attacking, aggressive cavalier cricket. It does not happen like that overnight. And the approach of the West Indies team on Saturday night was wrong, Sean Diaz. And I have no confidence in you. I cannot understand why you would have issued those instructions to the girls. Especially you yourself said that it was a juicy pitch. You yourself was there and you saw that the covers were not off until less than an hour before the start of the game, and you instructed these girls to go out and play attacking cricket when the greatest batsman, some of us would say, in the world is telling his fellow batsman to just let us sit in and play test cricket for a while. And not only that, but you, Sean Diaz, are saying that you love the positive approach of the girls moving into the ball. Tell me which girl was moving into the ball Saturday night? How many of them lost their wickets with their weight and the back foot going away from the ball? Sean Diaz, we are sensible people. We welcome you to the West Indies. And we hope you are a good coach. We hope you're a good coach. But I'm saying to you, don't take us for granted. It is time. It is time that you buckle down to the job that Cricket West Indies employ you to do. Please, I'm begging you, sir, don't take us for granted. The other thing that I want to discuss today, or just briefly go through, is that the International Cricket Council has announced earlier today that the Los Angeles Olympic Committee have recommended to the IOC, that's the International Olympic Committee, that cricket be one of the games at the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. I would have covered this extensively and would have done many shows detailing the process of trying to get cricket into the Olympics. And so at this time, we are one step away. This is what the ICC chairman has to say. Whilst this is not the final decision, it is a very significant landmark towards seeing cricket at the Olympics for the first time in more than a century. He went on to say, I would like to thank the Los Angeles 28 for their support over the last 2 years, and we look forward to the final decision being taken at the IOC session in India during the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup next week. So next week, the final decision will be taken. And it is significant that that IOC meeting is being held in India during the World Cup. The IOC has no choice, It's just ego why the IOC has not approved cricket at the World Cup before. Cricket is watched or is followed by over 2.5 billion people in the world, second only to football. So all these other sports that they have at the Olympic, cricket has more followers than them. You can probably group 20 sports at the Olympic, and the number of persons that are following them is fewer than what is following cricket. So I just think it is ego. But in the end, money makes the decision. Because if cricket is at the World Cup, if cricket is at the Olympic, the IOC will be raking in an extra 100 million if cricket is at the Olympics. No one is giving up 100 million. So the ICC can relax all cricket-loving persons would love to see cricket at the World Cup, relax. The IOC cannot turn down 100 million. So expect that the vote at next week will be positive at next week's meeting. With the Super 50 set to start next week Tuesday, the Jamaica Talawas have released their squad. And this is the Jamaica Talawas, not the Jamaica Talawas, pardon me. The Jamaica Scorpion have released their squad. And that squad includes Rovman Powell as the captain, Brandon King as the vice captain. And we welcome back Nkrumah Bonner into the team. He played well in Jamaica Senior Cup 50-over cricket tournament that just concluded yesterday on Saturday. So welcome back Nkrumah Bonner to the team. Chadwick Walton is in that team and he will be the wicket keeper. I think Chadwick Walton is somewhere around 39-40. And so this should be a concern for the Jamaica Cricket Association. For I am not disputing that Walton should be there. But I'm saying that at 39, is he still the best keeper in Jamaica? If he is, then there's cause for concern in our cricketing fraternity. There's one newcomer to the side, the left-arm pacer from Melbourne, Shalman Parnell. Shalman Parnell, who plays for Melbourne, and Melbourne was a team that JDF beat in the final on Saturday. He's a left-arm pacer who can hit the ball very far, and so he's the newcomer to the Jamaica Scorpion 14-man squad. That's a very strong squad, and I expect that the Jamaica Scorpion may well repeat this year again. Thank you all for listening. I hope you have slashed a like on the video and click on that subscribe button. I will now go through your comment. Christopher Bristol is saying, Mr. Brown, stop blaming the coaches. Start calling out players too. And I would have explained my reason why I have not called out any player. Because clearly these girls want to please the coach and they are following instructions from the coach. But clearly the coach does not understand that he does not have the quality to play that way. And he should. He, as a top coach, he should realize that our team, maybe 2-3 years down the line, the girls can play that way. But right now, everybody in cricket knows that these set of girls cannot play that way. Except for Ailey Matthews and Stephanie Taylor, Rashada Williams and Shermaine Campbell can fit somewhere in there. But we all know that the girls cannot play that way. Their averages of 16 and 17 and 18 tells you that they cannot play that way. At least West Indies try, give them credit. Some positive come out of the game so they can work on it. Christopher Bristol, some positive comes out of the game? Please tell me, just don't tell me, Christopher Bristol, that some positive comes out of the game. Tell me, what are those positive? Are you going to tell me those positive, or like the one that Sean Diaz is saying, that is that it was a good toss to win, and the girls were moving into the ball? Which ball were they moving in? Is that the positive? So, Christopher Bristol, I really appreciate your comments, and I'm really glad that you are participating, and I always happy, and I know that you love to come at me. I love the banter. I enjoy the banter. It is what it is all about. But don't come and tell me that you're a positive in the game and you are not telling me what those positives are. Because I have seen none except Aaliyah Alleyne making 35. Merrick, good afternoon, sir. Good evening. How are you? Supernova. I agree sending both Xavier and Joseph to open versus Australia was throwing them to the wolves. I didn't understand the tactics, although I didn't watch the match. Exactly what I'm saying, Supernova. How could you? One of the things that came to my mind, Supernova 22, is that if the match should go the full 100 over, that match would probably, it starts 7 o'clock, so that match, the match would go very close to the start of the Australia-Indian opening match. And maybe he wanted to watch that match. Those are the questions that I'm asking. I'm really asking those questions, But as I said, I don't want to say anything about the girls because they definitely was following the instruction of the coach. I'm sorry about that. Thank you all for tuning in. That's an omission, Supernova, that I was expecting Jordan Johnson in the team. I am surprised he's not there. I'm looking forward to see the Leewards team if Joel Andrew is there, because I was really expecting that Joel Andrew will be in the Leeward Island squad and that Jordan Johnson will be in the Jamaica squad. So we cannot call for Jordan Johnson to be in the West Indies squad now when Jamaica is not selecting him for their squad. So I was a little surprised. I was hoping that he would have been in it. But congratulations to all the gentlemen that have made this squad. Thank you all for tuning in. Please slash a like on the video, click on that subscribe button, and remember, support the Cricket Forum effort to introduce cricket to over 1,000 basic school and primary school children in this school year. The links and the information are in the video descriptions and they are in the comment section. Please support the Cricket Forum effort. Thank you all. Have a great evening and see you tomorrow.